Margot, please take it away.
I, Margot GK, the Town Clerk of the Town of Morristown, do hereby state that it is 7:30 p.m. on Monday, September 29th, 2025, and that this regular meeting is being held in Council Chambers, 200 South Street, Morristown, New Jersey. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided according to law by written notice to the Morristown Daily Record, the official newspaper of the Town of Morristown, and to the Newark Star Ledger, both more than 48 hours ago. Notice was also posted on the bulletin board at Town Hall and filed with the office of the Town Clerk of the Town of Morristown. I do further state that I shall enter into the minutes of this meeting a statement that such notice was furnished as particularly described by me in this public announcement. I will take a roll call. Councilwoman Foster.
Here.
Councilman Iannacone.
Here.
We hope to see Councilwoman Lindsay this evening. Councilman Polipchuk.
Here.
Councilman Russo.
Here.
Councilman Silva is excused this evening. Council President Umbriac.
Here.
Mr. President, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Let's please pause for a moment of silence. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, before we get started, I just want to announce that resolution number R-135-2025 has been tabled. It will be considered during the October 14th regular council meeting. There are 3 consent agenda items tonight. I will separate out 1 and 2, which are the approval of minutes from September 9th, 2025. May I please have a motion to adopt those minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda items 1 and 2.
Second.
Okay, on the adoption of the minutes, Councilwoman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Polipchuk.
Yes.
Councilman Russo.
Abstain?
And Council President Umbriac.
Yes.
Motion carries. Minutes are adopted. Item number 3 of the consent agenda is a block party approval for Early Street on October 25th, 2025. May I please have a motion to adopt?
I will make a motion to adopt consent agenda item number 3.
Second?
Okay, where are you? Okay, on the adoption of consent agenda item number 3, Councilwoman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Polipchuk.
Abstain.
Councilman Russo.
Yes.
Council President Umbriac.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item is adopted.
Thank you. I would like to make a motion to move up the other presentations and reports. Since we have so many in the crowd today, I'd like to turn it over to our police chief, Darnell Richardson.
Good evening. Thank you. Before we start, I want to thank the council, the mayor, and the business administrator for the continuous support with the police department, the hiring of officers, and keeping us at the staff level we need to be at. Today, we're going to swear in 2 of our officers. The first officer is Officer Flores. Let's step up and we pull the Bible for you. Before we swear him in, Officer Flores is a lifelong resident of Morristown. He moved to this town at the age of 2. He graduated from Morristown High School in 2017. He earned his bachelor's degree from Montclair State University. Shortly after that, he was hired by the Morristown Police Department and went to the Bergen County Police Academy. He deeply values the Morristown diversity and the way it brings people of all walks of life together. Proudly serves and protects the Morristown community alongside a dedicated team of officers. He goes mountain biking, snowboarding, and outdoor activities on his free time. Officer Flores.
I state your name.
I, Ricardo Flores,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of police officer
of the office of police
for
officer
the Morristown Bureau of Police
for the Morristown Bureau of Police
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Sister Ella and other young women to pursue their ambitions with confidence, committed to serving with integrity and making her family proud, her family and community proud. Excited to continue growing in this profession and to challenge herself as she advances in her career. Officer Catalano.
Would you raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me? I state your name.
I, Mackenzie Catalano,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States and in this state
to the United States and to this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of police officer
of the, sorry,
of the office of police officer
of the office of the police officer
for the Morristown Bureau of Police
for the Morristown Bureau of Police
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Your Uncle Kevin's gonna be proud.
Thank you so much.
I graduate with. What's that? I know.
Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule for joining me.
Thank you, Chief.
Happy to have you. Thank you for being here.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Be safe out there. All right, we'll give it a minute for people to exit. Thank you, everybody, for coming and supporting that. That was great. Yes, I'm ready. So let's move to the public hearing, Margot, please.
Okay, at this time, I will open the floor for a public hearing on any matter. When called upon, please approach the microphone, state your name and address, and limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Please be advised that any derogatory comments targeting members of council and/or administration may be ruled out of order.
Anyone from the public like to come up and speak? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Judy Byard, 37 Overlook Road, Morristown. And I was wondering if this year you will be putting the leaf blower notice in the sanitation recycling notice again. That was done last year, and I really appreciated it. Last year, the notice was about telling people to contact the police if they saw someone using a leaf blower during the period of January 1st through September 30th, which is tomorrow. But anyway, and I was here a few weeks ago about the issue of immigrants, and they may be traumatized if the police were called. So if this were something you would do, I don't know if you would have a different mechanism, such as contacting your council person or something. And the other thing is, at the last meeting, David Silva mentioned that there was a all-electric landscaper, I guess, who operates near him, where he lives. And I talked to Bob Iannacone at another meeting last week. And I was wondering if you all could let me know the names of these companies, because there's people who are interested in talking to the powers to be at either condominiums or homeowner associations, HOAs, and they're interested in seeing if there could be, if the association could use electric leaf blowers. And a lot of these places don't have much grass anyway. And they complain that there's a lot of leaf blowing going on. It's kind of excessive, during the time that it's being banned. And if they complain, well, we do allow the gas-powered leaf blowers during the 3 months where most of the leaves fall. So, and one other question I had was, everybody used to be able to speak for 5 minutes. I guess it's the Roberts rule, and now it's 3, so I was just wondering about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the public like to come up and speak? Yes, sir.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Hello.
Sorry, bye. My name is Jeff Fisher. I'm from the Ride the Wave Foundation. We were established in 2023, and I was walking across the street from where my mom lives, and as I was walking across, there were several things that happened prior, but I felt the wave, almost God calling me to turn around and check on. His name was Daryl, and he was homeless. When I did, I had an amazing interaction. It changed our lives. I really fueled Daryl with encouragement. So our grand commitment is to build an all-inclusive, modern, university-style campus for people experiencing homelessness. And how we're going to do that? I have a podcast that went from 0 to 100K subscribers to get the word out. To build trust, we're looking into putting a free taxi service called Wave Transportation, which will bring people essentially to their appointments that they normally can't get to, filling in a gap. And also, it was formed while I was getting to the bottom of the culture of a company that I own, NCK Equipment. Ray Marone, my mentor, really great guy. He radiated positivity. It was named after his 3 daughters. So I wanted to encapsulate a positive culture in the company, so it's hybrid. We're going to do Wavemaker leadership as well, which is going to empower business individuals to tie in nonprofits in a unique way and utilize Wavemaker principles. So I wrote a book, which is a repurposed story of Daryl, teaching people how to approach others in the street that they normally wouldn't. How to radiate positivity. Nerves are normal. The art of asking questions. It's so important to ask questions to get to know someone. And we do wave outreach in the community. We've been giving hygienic kits, some backpacks, some sleeping bags and things like that. And it's been really fulfilling serving in this capacity. So I just wanted to introduce myself, and I gotta say that I appreciate what you guys do. I'm sure it's hard and not easy. And I wanted to open up my heart and also extend any collaboration opportunities with the town council. Great man, Mr. Mayor, thank you. I also had a meeting with Sheriff Gannon as well, and really just trying to see this thing through the best way we can and collaborate openly. So that's it. Name is Jeff Fisher. Just wanted to throw that out there. If you go to ridethewave.org, that's us.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the public? Yes, sir.
Ed Peters, 142 Washington Street. I'm here again to address you guys about pickleball. You spent $130,000 of money to build really nice pickleball courts with sound mats around them. However, recently, the hours at the pickleball courts have changed from essentially 8 to 8, which was crazy because the sun sets before 8 now, but the hours have been reduced to 9 to 12, Monday to Saturday. If you're a Jewish person, you can't even play pickleball if you observe it on Saturday, because Sunday you're not allowed to use the pickleball court. To me, this hour change makes no sense at all. And on the website, there's a job paying $17 an hour for someone to watch the pickleball courts during that time, I guess to be sure you have a badge. My sister bought a badge, which entitles her to play pickleball, and she's allowed a guest, which is me, because I never spent the $25 town resident fee to buy a badge. But we can't. She works full-time, Monday to Friday. I work full-time. We can't play between 9 and 12, Monday to Friday. That leaves Saturday. And on Saturday, my sister takes the town pickleball town rec class that runs, I think, at 10 a.m. to 11. So one court or two courts are used by the town rec class. I take the town rec class on Thursday. They're not having it this Thursday due to Yom Kippur. Anyway, but I object to this. It's complete craziness that these hours are reduction. And in addition, it was announced that the pickleball courts will be closed December 1st. I believe it didn't say this, but I believe permanently. So I'm hoping there's some other pickleball courts that are going to replace those. But to me, it's still a waste of $130,000 that you spent to make really good courts there. One recent Saturday, I walked around those courts with my decibel meter because someone came to this town council and said they had a 65 decibel reading. That's not even that high. I first went to Erskine Road and parked my truck, walked my dog with my meter. I didn't even hear the pickleball. The only thing I heard was the nail guns from a construction at the corner of Erskine and James where they're putting a 3-car garage and an expansion on. That's all I heard was the nail gun. Bang, bang, bang. I walked to the pickleball courts. My meter read a little bit high, maybe 70 was the highest, in front of the open where there's no mat, near the tennis wall. And then when I went to the sides, it was greatly reduced. It was maybe 60. But these readings are not constant, they vary. So I'm telling you the high that I saw.
Mr.
Anyway.
Peters, your time is up. Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. Anyone else from the public that would like to come? Yes, sir.
Ed Seckler, 10 Carolyn Court, Windmill Pond. I feel a little embarrassed talking about pickleball after that presentation by Jeff, but pickleball is why I'm here. Just to follow up on the previous person, the courts always seem to be empty. I walk around, I live right behind it, I walk there with my dog, or I drive around, and it's hardly ever being used. So I don't know why we had to do away with all the hours that they're taking away from us. It just doesn't seem to make any sense, like the gentleman before me said. And as far as the lock, I think was broken. Is there proof of that? I mean, somebody passed around on Team Reach that in addition to the courts being filled by outsiders, that the lock was broken. Now, I didn't go there to see if that's true. Does anybody here validate that, or? Okay, because they were saying people were going on to the courts illegally at times when it wasn't supposed to be open. It just seems like the gentleman before said, it's a big waste of money. Have we decided on where the new courts are going to be? And I know you gave a refund of $12.50. The money is a moot point in this whole thing. It just seems that this has been a mess right from the start. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Any final comments from the public? If not, I will close public session. Responses. Councilman Russo.
Hi, so I'll start, thank you everybody for coming out. I'll start with Judy. Thanks for coming, and thanks for always reaching out to me about the people who haven't been using the electric equipment, and we give them a polite phone call, and we talk to them, and hopefully next season, if they haven't purchased it already, they will. But I encourage you to keep just reaching out to, or you reach out to me, but anyone else in different wards, reach out to their respective councilmen. Mr. Peters and Mr. Sackler, we had a good conversation on the street the other day. So a pickleball, and I'm sure the administration can fill in any gaps that I leave out here, but this has been obviously a very interesting topic. I guess one good thing is it's almost been the biggest topic in town. So the town things are going pretty good if the main topic is pickleball. So, but I know it's been a very important topic for people on both sides of the aisle. So, Mr. Peters, as you stayed the times right there, 9 to 12. Monday to Saturday, and we are doing our best. The administration's been working day and night on this. I've been speaking to them, so I give kudos to them to try to what's fair for everyone while we figure out what we're going to do potentially with a new place to play. But we're just trying to be respectful to the pro pickleball community, and then none of them are here tonight, but the people who are having issues with the noise. So we're doing the best we can, and trust me, there's not one voice that isn't heard on this on both sides. So we're doing the best we can. And again, any gaps I missed, I'm sure the administration can fill in on that. But that's all I have to say. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you, Councilman. I think Mr. Fisher left, but I wanted to compliment him for coming and speaking ridethewave.org, so I'd encourage everybody to take a look at that. In terms of the leaf blower ordinance or notice, that'll be a question for the administration. And then in terms of moving from 5 minutes to 3 minutes, so we changed that because what we did was we allowed, if somebody that was a native Spanish speaker wanted to come and had something that they wanted to present, they needed additional time to have it translated. So we would allow 3 minutes for them to speak and then 3 minutes for the translation. And we changed that at the beginning of this year, I believe. Changed a while ago. So that's why we no longer have the 5 minutes. So we wanted to encourage people, if English wasn't their first language, they had an opportunity to come up and speak, and then they had 3 minutes for a translator to come up and speak the translation. Any other questions, or I'm sorry, any other comments from anyone on council?
No, just one other comment. Actually, I had talked with Jeff Fisher. He called me, got my phone number, and I talked to him. But one of the things I think we have to continue to reiterate is that I truly believe that homelessness is a countywide issue. And Morristown will always be the nexus of where people come when they're homeless.
Right.
But I think the services, to the extent that they can be, should be the responsibility of the county. I'll say it. And I also found, because I work a lot with the homeless in my day-to-day profession in different counties, and I also find that the best use of funds is at the county level when the funds are focused on coordinated programs to the extent that you can basically put the power of grants behind it, you can put the power of creating economies behind it. And I will tell you, every time I've worked with the county, Jillian and I, a while back, were working with the homeless at the train station, which was a major problem. I got hold of the county. I have to tell you, they did a fantastic job. And they didn't empty out the place. What they did is they actually worked with the individuals, and they actually found placement for the individuals. And when you went to the train station, within probably 3 months, it went from basically seeing sometimes 15, 16 people in the morning to 2 or 3. And the county consistently was going back there and actually coming back and checking to see was it happening again. But when you do look at the counties in the state from a healthcare perspective and from a homeless standpoint, those who coordinated, because it truly is, homeless people aren't necessarily generated from this town. They come from all over, and it is a broader community responsibility. And so, what I did do is I was trying to connect Jeff to the social workers that actually work at the county level that they do send out from time to time.
Great, great. Wonderful. All right, if no other comments, then I will turn it over to the mayor for his report.
Just to do a quick follow-up on Councilman Iannacone's comments on the county. Yes, I also agree that there's a huge county responsibility for a lot of things, not just homeless, but for streets and for their roads and for their crosswalks and for their light sequences and everything else that they own, but don't seem to pay much attention to Morristown. And I think they should. And they have a lot more money than we do. We're a nonprofit town. We don't get all that money, but they sure get their money, and they don't like to give it to us. So I hope the county hears us, and they will be hearing a lot of us over the next few years, I would think. Really quick, 2 things. One, also with the train station, I want to thank our community engagement unit and the police department because they've had a huge police presence at our train station, and a huge police presence throughout our community with the community engagement unit and our regular officers, and the programs we've been running with the state in dealing with the homeless population. So it's been successful so far, and we'll announce it more over the next couple of months. But right now, it's still in the working stage, but we will give you the progress reports when they come in. But it's been very successful. You just aren't aware of everything that's going on. Pickleball, I'll just briefly touch on. Council President and I were in the neighborhoods dealing with that last week. And, you know, I asked the business administrator to give me the distance between the pickleball courts in the township to the closest resident, which is anywhere between 400 and 800 feet. These pickleball courts are on the borderline of people's homes. And there's a big difference between 400 to 800 feet and 10 feet when you're listening to a pickleball constantly, all day Saturday and all day Sunday. So there is a balance we're trying to strike. We are working with Councilwoman Sheba Foster and Councilwoman Lindsay and other council members on a new place. We'll hopefully announce very soon. That's just the pickleball. I mean, I got a report today, there's a lawsuit. We were told on an issue because somebody was playing music really loud to drown out the pickleball. And because they were playing the music really loud, now they're suing in another town because of the music is messing with their ears. So there is no, it's become an imbalance of people who do not like the sound of pickleball because it is loud, whether you want to agree pickleball players or not, it is loud. But if the distance between the homeowners that are on Maxwell and Erskine in that area was 800 feet, it'd be a different argument or a different problem. But the people that are directly behind paying taxes, like everyone else, right? Everyone else has to listen to that all day and all weekend long, has to be addressed. You can't just fall a deaf ear on it. So we're doing what we can, the best what we can, and I think in the end, the pickleball players will be satisfied and will be happy and be out there playing pickleball. And maybe one day I'll even play pickleball. Who knows? So on Wednesday, September, these are previous events. There was a grand opening of DEA Music. For those who attended that ribbon cutting there, it's a great opportunity for those who want to get into art and learning how to play music. It's 103 Washington Street. It's called DEA Music and Art School. The 13th of Saturday in September, Community Health Day was held at the Hyatt by Church of God in Christ. It was a free day of screenings, activities, lectures, samples, and a lot of it was all focused on improving your health in Morristown area. It's a great event. Hats off to Reverend Rogers and Church of God in Christ. They do a great event putting that health fair on every year. The 27th of September, there was a free rabies clinic here. Now, the council president, what time did you get here?
Got here at 10:45, and I was number 44, and
Right.
apparently people showed up at 8:30 in the morning.
So I got here at 12:30, and the line was pretty far into the parking lot at 12:30. I guess because it's free, the old saying, if it's free, I'll take 3. Well, I saw one guy came with 6, okay, and he wasn't from Morristown, which is fine. It was a free clinic. It's an amazing event. It's great that we offer it here in town, but there's a lot of people came with their pets to get their free rabies shot. And we're trying to find out how many actually shots were dosed. And then we'll get a better idea of how many actually people came. But they come from all over. But 214 pets. Wow. Free rabies shots. That's pretty impressive. Yeah. Pretty impressive. So glad people got their pets and their shots. Cats, dogs, rabbits. No, I don't think there are any rabbits there. But definitely cats and dogs. The 28th of September, the Morristown Park. No, hold on a second. That's my alarm. For those who don't know why, I'm not going to go into sharing why. That's what happens when your glucose goes high. That's what happens with pickleball. I start talking about pickleball. It's not why it goes up. It's because I probably ate something I shouldn't have eaten. That was pretty funny, though. The 28th, which was just obviously yesterday, was the Fall Festival, and I'll let Councilman Pilipchak touch on that if you want to, briefly.
I don't have any information from the partnership yet, but the next meeting we'll have some numbers. It was a great day, and I think it was one of the largest ones I've seen.
Yeah, I got up there a little after 12 and the streets were packed. And I left at 4:45 and they were still packed. A lot of people from a lot of different towns coming to look at our town, coming to enjoy what we have to offer in our downtown. And nothing but kudos from Morristown residents that I saw throughout the day. So hats off to the partnership and to all the vendors that were out there, our nonprofits and our restaurants and all our shops in town that had a booth. It was a great day for Morristown. September 30th, which is tomorrow, from 5 to 7, Morristown Police Bureau will have Cops and Rodders events at the Morristown Green. For those who don't know what that is, that's a car show. So come on down to the Green, 5 to 7, and greet our police officers that present Cops and Rodders event on the Morristown Green. October 1st, which is Wednesday, Coffee with a Cop at Swiss Chalet Bakery. Join your neighbors and police officers, coffee and conversation. It's a great event. A lot of people engage with the police department. They have great conversations. So if you know anybody who wants to, especially if school's in, so it's tough, but it's a great event and a lot of people go there for coffee in the morning, so they'll get to interact with the police department, which is fantastic. October 4th, mark your calendars. There's a fall cleanup, 9 a.m., Bishop Nazarene Way, rain or shine. Register at townofmorristown.org/cleanup. Any questions, call 973-292-6629. That's October 4th, Saturday, 9 a.m. We do it every year. It's a great event. So we'll see everybody there in the morning, early morning. Also tonight, it's not on my sheet, but Chris Martin is being honored at the school board tonight. So October 5th, there's a celebration of Chris Martin's life at the Unitarian Fellowship, 21 Normandy Heights Road. That's from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., Sunday, October 5th. Friday, October 10th, we're hoping that we have the same weather we had for the fall, for the Jazz Festival and the Fall Festival for downtown Morristown. We have the Festival of Books. The keynote event is at the MPAC. You can visit mayoarts.org for tickets. It's a great event. If you've never been to the keynote at the MPAC at the theater, it's one of our top events, along with the festivals that we have. The Festival of Books is fabulous, and what they've been able to put together over the years. They do a great job. Saturday, October 11th, that's the full day. The main event is at morristownbooks.org. Again, morristownbooks.org for more information and event lineup. It's all day. It's in lots of different places. There's so many different authors, so many different books. It's just really great. And if you notice during the Fall Festival, there was a lot of stuff out there about book reading, and so that's becoming a really big thing to get people to read more. It's an important part of life that people read as much as they can. And really, I think that's it. I have, Council President.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And with that, we will move to council liaison reports. Councilman Polipchuk.
So like I said, the partnership meeting will be in a couple weeks, so I'll have better numbers then. The Fall Festival was a great success. It was beautiful weather, and I think honestly one of the biggest ones I've seen. I mentioned it to the chief earlier, but I wanted to say it publicly too. I got a lot of compliments from people feeling how safe they were there, especially with the barricades and everything that were up. So it was greatly appreciated. So thank you.
Wonderful. Councilman Russo.
Another planning board meeting, the end of the month, but pretty quiet for the most part for now.
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move on to regular business, please, Margot.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay, we have 6 ordinances for introduction this evening. The first is Ordinance O-34-2025, an ordinance amending and supplementing the code of the Town of Morristown, Chapter 7, Traffic, Section 40.2, handicap parking on streets for private residences, to add a dedicated handicap parking space, excuse me, for a resident of 9.5 Hazel Street.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number O-34-2025.
Second.
Any comments or questions from council? Okay, on the introduction of ordinance O-34-2025, Councilwoman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Polipchuk.
Yes.
Councilman Russo.
Yes.
And Council President Umbriak.
Yes.
Ordinance O-34-2025 was introduced properly by title and will be considered further after a public hearing on October 14th. Next is ordinance O-35-2025, an ordinance amending Chapter 30 of the Code of the Town of Morristown, Section 30-207, regarding the planned walkable neighborhood zoning district overlay.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number O-35-2025.
Second.
Any comments or questions?
At the next meeting, when we actually, are we going to have Phil come and explain these two sections?
There actually is going to be extensive conversation with the planning board, but this was also discussed as part of the housing element.
Yeah.
So this is implementing the elements of the housing element that were adopted by council and the planning board.
It appears that what you're doing is actually consolidating all the changes that were made by individual resolutions that we've seen in the past into one. So you're consolidating all the changes. It looked like, when I looked at the red line, some of the stuff was pretty familiar.
Not exactly. So to sort of summarize, there are two major changes. One is things to modernize the affordable housing policies. For example, we are proposing
15 to
increasing
20.
from 15 to 20% for rental housing. And then the other piece is reverting sections of the ordinance, the land use and zoning ordinance, to revert back to the 2018 version in consideration of the Quarry Road project, which was discussed extensively at the planning board as well.
Okay. Do me a favor. If you're
Yes.
going to have a meeting with Phil between now and 2 weeks from now, for our next meeting, invite maybe anybody, make sure no more than 3 of us show up, but just to talk to Phil. I do have a couple more questions on this.
I'm happy to
And,
sit down
you know,
with you, Councilman, at
You
your
guys
leisure.
answered a lot of questions because there's a lot here and to digest, and there's a lot of changes. And there's a couple concerns I still have, though.
Sure,
So,
I'm happy
we'll
to do
I
that
know, I
with
always
you and
call
any other council member
And you
that's
were
interested.
Both were very helpful today.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, on the introduction of ordinance O-35,
36, no, 35.
35-2025, Councilman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Anacone.
Yes.
Councilman Polypchuk.
Yes.
Councilman Russo.
Yes.
Council President Umbreak.
Yes.
Ordinance O-35-2025 has been introduced properly by title. There will be a planning board consistency review on October 23rd, so the public hearing and possible adoption will be October 28th.
It'll be on, perfect.
So you have a little time.
And plus, the 23rd will be heard by the planning board.
Yes,
So
that's-
it's deliberated, which is great, too.
So, yeah, you have some
Perfect.
time. Okay, ordinance O-36-2025, ordinance amending Chapter 30 of the Code of the Town of Morristown regarding affordable housing to address the requirements of the Fair Housing Act and the Uniform Housing Affordability Controls, and to comply with the town's Round 4 affordable housing obligations.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number O-36-2025.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Okay, on the introduction of ordinance O-36-2025, Councilwoman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Anacone.
Yes.
Councilman Polypchuk.
Yes.
Councilman Russo.
Yes.
And Council President Umbreak.
Yes.
Ordinance O-36-2025 has been properly introduced by title. There will be a planning board consistency review on October 23rd, with the public hearing and possible adoption on October 28th. Ordinance O-37-2025, ordinance providing for certain capital improvements at the Morristown Municipal Airport by the Town of Morristown and the County of Morris, State of New Jersey, and appropriating $189,935 therefore to finance the cost thereof.
I will make a motion to introduce ordinance number O-37-2025.
Second.
Any comments or questions? On the introduction of ordinance O-37-2025, Councilman Foster?
Yes.
Councilman Anacone?
Yes.
Councilman Polypchuk?
Yes.
Councilman Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Umbreak?
Yes.
Ordinance O-37 has been introduced properly by title and will be considered further after a public hearing on October 14th. Ordinance number O-38-2025, ordinance providing for certain capital improvements at the Morristown Municipal Airport by the Town of Morristown and the County of Morris, State of New Jersey, and appropriating $6,059,746 therefore to finance part of the cost thereof.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number O-38-2025.
Second.
Any comments or questions? On the introduction of ordinance O-38-2025, Councilwoman Foster?
Yes.
Councilman Anacone?
Yes.
Councilman Polypchuk?
Yes.
Councilman Russo?
Yes.
Council President Umbreak.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance O-38 has been introduced properly by title and will be considered further after a public hearing on October 14th. Ordinance O-39-2025, ordinance amending ordinance O-30-2023, which provided for certain capital improvements at the Morristown Municipal Airport by the town of Morristown and the county of Morris, state of New Jersey, and increasing the funding with an additional contribution from DM Airports Limited to bring the total funding for the improvements to $7,475,153.46.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number O-39-2025.
Second.
Any comments or questions? On the introduction of ordinance O-39-2025, Councilman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Anacone.
Yes.
Councilman Polypchuk.
Yes.
Councilman Russo.
Yes.
Council President Umbreak.
Yes.
Ordinance O-39 has been introduced properly by title and will be considered further after a public hearing on October 14th. We have four ordinances for public hearing and adoption tonight. The first being ordinance number O-30-2025, an ordinance amending the code of the town of Morristown, Chapter 30, Land Development, Article 2F, Use Regulations applicable to all zones, Section 216.7, Medical Cannabis Dispensaries and Medical Cannabis Dispensaries with approval to operate as cannabis retailer licenses or Class 5 cannabis licensed retailers.
I will make a motion to adopt ordinance number O-30-2025.
Second.
At this time, I open the floor for a public hearing on ordinance O-30-2025 only. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Comments or questions from council? On the adoption of ordinance O-30-2025, Councilman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Polypchuk.
Abstain.
Councilman Russo.
Yes.
And Council President Umbreak.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance O-30 is adopted. Ordinance number O-31-2025, ordinance reappropriating $55,322 proceeds of obligations not needed for their original purpose in order to provide for replacement of playgrounds at Victor Woodhull Park and/or Orchard Street Park in and by the town of Morristown and the county of Morris, New Jersey.
I will make a motion to adopt ordinance number O-31-2025.
Second.
At this time, I'll open the floor for a public hearing on ordinance O-31 only. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from council? On the adoption of ordinance O-31-2025, Councilman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Polypchuk.
Yes.
Councilman Russo.
Yes.
Council President Umbreak.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance O-31 is adopted. Ordinance number O-32-2025, ordinance of the town of Morristown authorizing execution of a rights-of-way agreement between the town of Morristown and Comcast Business Communications LLC to permit the installation, use, and maintenance of telecommunications facilities within public rights-of-way for purposes of providing telecommunications services.
I will make a motion to adopt ordinance number O-32-2025.
Second.
At this time, I'll open the floor for a public hearing on ordinance O-32 only. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from council? On the adoption of ordinance O-32-2025, Councilman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Polypchuk.
Yes.
Councilman Russo.
Yes.
And Council President Umbreak.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance O-32 is adopted. Ordinance O-33-2025, ordinance of the town of Morristown and the county of Morris, state of New Jersey for compensation for certain management/non-union positions in the town of Morristown, New Jersey, and amending all ordinances concerning such compensation heretofore adopted.
I will make a motion to adopt ordinance number O-33-2025.
Second.
At this time, I'll open the floor for a public hearing on ordinance O-33 only. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from council? On the adoption of ordinance O-33-2025, Councilwoman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Polypchuk.
Yes.
Councilman Russo.
Yes.
And Council President Umbreak.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance O-33 is adopted. There are 6 resolutions for adoption this evening. Would members of council like to pull any for separate consideration?
Council President, 135, if we can hold that
I announced
until
that at the beginning.
Yes.
You did,
Yes.
okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Well, 1, 2, 3, it is 6. It was 7.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to adopt en masse resolutions R-129-2025 through R-134-2025.
Second.
Okay, on the adoption of those 6 resolutions, Councilman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Anacone.
Yes.
Councilman Polypchuk.
Yes.
Councilman Russo.
Yes.
Council President Umbreak.
Yes.
Motion carries, resolutions are adopted.
Thank you. We have no unfinished old business, no new business. I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.